Many years ago, humans called scientists developed a nasty little chemical formula that was supposed to kill weeds. Just spray the chemical on the weeds and presto, dead plants. Unfortunately, unbeknownst to the scientists, the chemical had one small side effect: reanimation of the dearly departed. This side effect was discovered when a sample of the chemical was given to the caretaker of a small cemetery that just happened to be located next to the lab where the chemical was created. The caretaker used the chemical to clear brush growing around a few headstones. Several hours later, the caretaker was in for a big surprise: the first zombies. Once the zombies finished their inaugural snack, they made their way back to the lab. After a brief struggle between the zombies and the scientists, an unforeseen explosion occurred. The whole building blew up, causing a deadly gas to be released into the air. Did I mention it was raining? Well, the gas mixed with an overhead rain cloud, and the resulting rain fell directly on the cemetery. That rain gas mix seeped into the graves, causing thousands of dead people to rise. Thus began the first generation of the now infamous zombie horde. Oh yeah, there was another side effect. You see, apparently zombies can make more zombies. Whenever an intended zombie snack survived a zombie bite, it became a zombie as well. That's how I was created, the zombie cheerleader. I was a cheerleader, I was bitten, I ran away, and here I am. Anyway, ever since then, it's been the zombies against the humans, or fleshies as I like to refer to them. We zombies are struggling for survival, and we are constantly on the move in search of a safe haven. Luckily for me, I found an abandoned school that I could call my own. As I was checking out my new home, I found a few interesting things. It took me a while to figure out what I was finding. After all, I am a zombie, and my memory of my past life, well, it's a bit dead. I found a bunch of black plastic things. I think they're called tapes. Once I figured out what to do with the tapes, I began to watch them. All of them. On the tapes were hundreds of fleshy zombies and some creatures kinda like zombies. I couldn't remember why the images were made, but they must have been developed for a reason. Maybe the tapes were used to teach other fleshies about zombies and monsters. For instance, I noticed some of the tapes introduced ways in which zombies and zombie-like creatures could be created, and other tapes seemed to reveal how to destroy said creatures, and many more tapes explored lots of theories and interesting ideas about zombies and monsters. Nearly every tape I viewed had fleshies destroying monsters. This is a school after all, so I gathered this building must have been some sort of fleshy training camp or something. Most of the tapes were full of crappy theories and bad ideas about zombies and monsters. It seemed the fleshies knew very little about monsters and zombies. All of a sudden, the wheels in my dead little brain began to squeak. After some time, I formulated my own diabolical plan. I figured I could use the tapes against the fleshies. I could tear apart the tapes and reveal to other monsters how fleshies can beat us, what they think they know about monsters and zombies, expose our own weaknesses, and teach my fellow monsters what not to do when encountering fleshies. It's a matter of survival, and I'm not planning to die anytime soon. Well, not again. Sadly, it's a well-known fact that most zombies and monsters ain't too bright, so we need all the help we can get. That's why I decided to open a school for the monsters thinking impaired. In other words, I teach stupid monsters how to survive a fleshy onslaught. However, I soon realized I couldn't do this alone, so I dug up a couple helpers. With my faithful assistants Zombit and Mr. Harrihan by my side, I could finally open my own school. Fellow monsters, gather round. The Zombie Cheerleader School of Horror is now in session. Hi, come on in. That's right. Sit down, make yourselves comfortable. Hi, welcome to the Zombie Cheerleader's School of Horror. It is I, the Zombie Cheerleader, and... What? A note? I'm right in the middle of my first class right now. Alright, what do we have here? I'm really bored, and I was wondering if you would play a game with me. Oh, jeez. How many times do I have to tell you I'm not going to play five-finger fillet with you? Drop the knife. Go ahead. Drop it. Drop the knife, Mr. Hairy Hand. Drop the knife. Now. Now. Drop it. Now. Jeez. You just can't get good help these days. What now? What? Yeah? What? Oh, something on the back. All right. How about if I use a butter knife? Jeez, will you give me this thing? Come on. Just give me, Mr. Hairy Hand, give me the knife. Come on, give me, drop it. No. Here we go. Stay in there then. Jeez. Anyway, guess you guys are wondering why you're here. I mean, I was kind of wondering that myself. But yeah. Anyway, I'm going to teach you monsters, zombies, everything you ever wanted to know about fleshies, but never bothered to ask. You see, fleshies think that they're smarter and faster, and they have all these great ideas and theories, and you know what? I have evidence that proves otherwise. In fact, Zombie, bring out the tape. Thank you. Give me. Get out of here. Here we go. Revolt of the Zombies. Let's see. I took a few notes. Some people out there that want to know about this stuff. Revolt of the Zombies. It's made in 1936. Takes place more or less in Cambodia sometime around World War I. There's this Oriental priest. He's condemned to life, imprisonment because he possesses the power of turning men into zombies. A bunch of goody-goody fleshy leaders decided that they want to find and destroy the zombie information. An expedition is sent to Cambodia to find the zombie formula. Meanwhile, a fleshy named Armand has female issues in Cambodia. Armand loves Claire, Claire loves Clifford, and Armand is dumped by Claire, and Claire wants to marry Clifford, and you know, it's a nice fleshy love triangle. Armand goes a bit insane and strikes out on his own to find the zombie formula. Well, Armand finds the secret to the zombie creation, and well, you need to watch the film. Oh, and for you folks out there that who want to keep track of fleshy actors, Dorothy Stone is Claire Duvall, that's the babe in the show. Dean Jagger he plays Armand, it's the guy with the zombie fetish. Roy D'Arcy, Colonel Mazovia, fleshy bad guy and potential zombie fodder, we'll talk about that later. Robert Noland, he plays Clifford Grayson, the fleshy that Claire has the hots for. George Cleveland, that's General Duvall, Claire's dad. William Krell, Priest Tiang, that's the priest with the zombie knowledge. And Teru Shimada, which is Buna, he's the manservant that belongs to Armand. And there's these eyes, really cool. They apparently the eyes you'll see later in the show. I mean, you'll find out what that's all about. The real spooky, evil-looking eyes belong to this fella by the name of Bela Lugosi. I don't think he's a fleshy. He must have been a zombie because, you know, the eyes are just too cool. Anyway, Revolt of the Zombies. Revolt of the Zombies. Let's start with the show.
splendid service as an interpreter is appreciated. But when you try to tell me stories of mesmerism, occultism, men without souls, hordes of supermen capable of annihilating armies of trained men, you make me wonder which of us is sane.
General, I dare say I failed in my presentation of the facts.
No, not facts, but the ravings of a mad Cambodian priest. No, Luke, it's too fantastic. Read that last.
The General Headquarters. Austrians bringing up veteran shock troops.
One moment. I wish I could believe in your robots. I could use several regiments of them right now. That's all.
Yes, sir.
You don't have to tell me you failed on one. I can read your emotions in your face just as easily as you read the dead languages.
Can't find a language in which to convince General Duval.
No, the chances are you apologized, stammered, he barked, and you retreated without firing a shot.
How much of this high priest story you believe?
Oh, I think there is such a thing as black magic. Call it superstition if you want, I don't know. But I don't believe that you can turn human beings into automatons, or as you call them, zombies.
You believe in mental telepathy?
Might be something to it, I don't know.
Well, science does. It's an established fact, Cliff, that in the Orient, the last of an ancient race lives by the laws of telepathy. Their knowledge, their rituals, they're guarded by just such priests as this man, Tiong.
All right, I'll buy you a driver mental telegraphist, but I'll not buy you a robot.
Now, look, Cliff. Tiong here comes from Angkor, where, according to their legends, Angkor was built by these robots. Thousands of tireless, feelingless human machines.
Yes, I know, and they call them zombies.
Controlled and directed mentally by their priest king.
Yes, and Tiong here is the last descendant of that priest king and the only man alive that knows the secret of the zombies.
Tiong. Bakan oi sava.
Bukan am chậm. Nhà oi tang tâm này.
I don't believe a word of it.
He says that the general keeps his ears in the ground like the ears of a corpse. That he'll not listen to the words of wisdom.
Well, what does he want to do? Get the general some earphones?
Eva prai atilai.
Vortexx. Shang. Shang vatoi. Akipula.
Tiong still insists his gods say he must create zombie soldiers. He says he'll show us how a handful of zombies can take an entire enemy trench.
I am not here to plead the cause of the Central European power, but that of modern civilization. In the name of humanity, you must not go further with your experiment. It may mean the destruction of the white race.
General Von Schelling, the responsibility is not ours. It is that of a fanatical Oriental priest attached to our Cambodian contingent. We have already placed the man under arrest. His experiment ends with that.
I thank you, sir. I shall be glad to return with that assurance.
Then we are agreed that since the priest Tiong refuses to reveal his secret, he is a menace so powerful that he must be confined where he never again can use his occult knowledge.
Quite right, General.
Right?
I suppose so.
He is to be confined to his quarters pending his removal to military prison.
Yes, sir. On down.
Gentlemen, the priest Tiang was murdered. Murdered by someone who did not want the Allies to benefit by his power to create robot soldiers. Or perhaps by someone who tried to take the secret from him to become the greatest force in the world.
True. When dealing with these Orientals, you deal with fatalists. Death to them is a transition to a better life. Thoroughly understandable.
His method of creating these zombies must be on record somewhere.
So I believe, sir. And it could only be in one of the temples of Angkor.
Then we must find it. And when this war ends, our duties will not end with it. I make a suggestion, and ask that each of you bring it to the attention of your government. Urge them to sponsor jointly an expedition to the lost city of Angkor. And for general appearances, let it be a private expedition. Find the secret of the zombies, destroy it. Then we shall assist it.
If you'll permit me to say so, sir, I think we've accomplished a good deal. It took years to make Angkor what she is. Certainly, we can't expect her to divulge her secret to us in just a few months.
Yes, but this all costs money in that.
Darling. Mr. Mack, how do you like me in this helmet?
My dear Claire, I like you in anything.
You're a gallant. I think I look awful in it.
So do I.
Monsieur Luke has consented to act as my guide.
I see.
In an hour, Monsieur Luke.
Thank you, Mademoiselle Duval. None whatever. So he promised to give up his power, release his subjects for this woman he loves.
Now, that's my idea of a man in love.
You believe the legend?
Who made it up, old Angkor or you?
It's a true translation of the legend.
Would you have given up all that power for Endra?
I shall never have power, and I've never known love.
Well, power's not so important. You are in love. In love with old stones and pieces of pottery. Well, perhaps you're lucky.
Perhaps.
Who's that?
Oh, that's Cliff Grayson. He's one of our best men here.
Uh-huh. I'm hungry. Let's go back to camp.
All right, let's do.
What did you say his name was?
Jakob Varman.
Oh, no, I mean him.
Oh, Cliff Grayson.
Gee, who'd ever guess that the fleshy dressed all in black would turn out to be the villain? I mean, not that I'm complaining or anything, but come on. And that priest with the towel? With this one towel, I shall create an army of zombies. Boy, if we're only that simple, What? Oh, hi. We've reached the first break in our movie. And I've noticed a few problems. Number one, towels do not make zombies. If a fleshy walks up to you and says, dude, I've got this towel that can make zombies, just eat them. There are no magical zombie-making towels. And I don't care how many pretty little pictures or words you paint on the thing. It's not going to happen. No way, no how. The only way I know how to make a zombie is bite a fleshy, don't eat it, let it run away and become a zombie. Don't forget that. I know, everyone loves a snack. But we have to learn to spread the zombie love. We just can't eat them all the time. Just bite it, let it run away, and become a zombie. That way there's more of us and less fleshies. Hooray for our side. Issue number 2. Any fleshy that dresses in black, has facial hair, stands around with a maniacal or diabolical look on his face, has a thing for science, or talks with a peculiar accent, chances are he's a villain. Look, I know the fleshies were making some sort of fleshy movie thing or something, but how stupid are we supposed to be? Even the name Mazovia sounds fiendish. And I've never seen a colonel dressed quite like Mazovia before. I mean, Mazovia, he had this black cane and this cute, fluffy little black cap, and Mazovia looked like he was ready for a night on the town or something. Hello, bad guy. Look, not that I'm complaining about villains or anything. These are the folks we want on our side. If you ever see a fleshy like Mazovia, bite him. Bite him real good. He's exactly what we want. Evil, rotten to the core. The perfect zombie. My third issue. Wasted meat. Leave it to a fleshy to kill another fleshy. Take the towel, but leave the body. Now, if Mazovia were a zombie, he wouldn't have made that mistake. What? Oh, yeah. Let's get back to the second part of the movie. We'll finish our discussion during the next break. How many times do I have to tell you to not interrupt me when I'm in the middle of a speech? This is my class. Get back and stay in there.
I, Chang Zhu, ambassador to the Khmer kingdom of Angkor, witnessed a strange ceremony which Fools! Under our very noses. The ceremony. The zombie ceremony. Then the secret does lie in Angkor. Luna, we're going back to Angkor. I want you to go with me.
No, sir. Do not go to Angkor.
Why not? Why not?
Please. Priests hold very old religious custom because they glad you all go away. Very dangerous to go back.
Buna. Buna. Sit down. There. Buna, the white man's ways have ever been strange to you of the East. To me, they are strange too. But I've discovered that he who would succeed must disregard all sentiment, decide upon his objective and drive straight to it. Ruthless? Yes, but therein lies success. Buna, I have discovered the secret formula of the great king of the Khmers. You are my first experiment. If I succeed with you, I will have acquired a knowledge that will make me the most important man in the world. Lower your arms. I will it. Can you move hand or foot, except as I will it? No, Master. Can you think or speak, except as I command? No, Master. Buna, we're learning to be ruthless. Yes, Master.
All right, before we get back to our discussion, I have to show a commercial. We zombies have to sell airtime like fleshies, otherwise this class would not be possible. And hey, zombies can make money too.
What rolls downstairs looks up and stares and makes a squishity sound. Ahead, not alive but dead. Everyone knows it's Todd. It makes fleshy sick as you give it a look. The perfect zombie toy. It's falling to bits like hominy grits, something the dick can enjoy. It's Todd, it's Todd, it's a foul, disgusting head. It's Todd, it's Todd, it's a treat for the living dead. It's a treat for the living dead. Todd by Sicko.
Todd by Sicko. He's a friend of mine. Get yours today. Alright, we're finished with that. Back to our discussion. So far, I have seen nada zombies revolting. In fact, I haven't seen one revolting zombie. And check out the fleshies in the film. Hi, we're a bunch of fleshies out here in the Cambodian jungle on a secret mission to destroy the zombie formula, so let's dance and play and dine and have a great time! What the heck is that all about? This is why all fleshies need to be eaten or turned into zombies. They make absolutely no sense otherwise. And then Armand, that's the dude on the fast track to the zombie formula, he's still pining for Claire. Oh, poor fleshy, he just wants his chick. He's useless! Leave it to a fleshy to waste all his time on petty emotions. But one good thing comes out of all this mess. Armand discovers the secret of turning men into zombies. And it's not just a towel anymore, it's a powder. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Hairyhand. Zombie powder! What do you think? I don't think so. And it gets better. Armand makes this powder, and he puts a flame underneath of it, and he wafts all the smoke into Buna's face. Buna's Armand's manservant. Buna goes stiff, and Armand doesn't know what to do, and then he grabs the towel again and realizes, I need a third eye, and he puts his hand to his forehead, and all of a sudden these eyes pop up, and every time you see the pair of creepy eyes, Armand has made a zombie. And what I can't understand is, how is it that Buna turns into a zombie and Armand's okay? I mean, Armand is like right there on the smoke, and the smoke is wafting all over the place, and Buna turns into a zombie, and Armand's right there, and he's okay. I mean, I guess he has some kind of like special nose that can't suck in zombie smoke or something. I don't know. Look, there is no zombie powder. It's an interesting, fleshy idea, but it's not very practical. Oh, and by the way, have you ever wondered what kind of fleshy makes for a great zombie? I know you zombies are out there shuffling around, trying not to get shot in the head. There's a lot going on out there, but I think it's very important that you pick and choose your potential zombified fleshy. Case in point, our current film takes place in the jungles of Cambodia, home of Buddhists, priests, and Hindus and other peace-loving creatures. These aren't exactly the type of folks that make for great zombies. I mean, nice fleshies make for terrible zombies. They aren't aggressive enough. They have a conscience. We want mean, rotten, nasty fleshies. Fleshies without a conscience, not happy, kind, friendly fleshies. Oh, and by the way, I don't know much about religion, being a zombie and all that, but I have never heard of hordes of Buddhists, Hindus, and other peace-loving creatures roaming around the jungles of Cambodia making zombies willy-nilly. I mean, I guess the fleshies are really having fun when they made this movie. I mean, again, it's just one more bad example of a fleshy theory of zombie creation. Anyway, speaking of which, let's get back to the film. What? Another note. Take time to play with me, or I'll use a pen this time. Oh, I'm so scared. I'm still not gonna play Five Finger Fillet. Just give me that.
Armand, you're a different man. There's no indecision in you these days, lad. You have an authority about you. It's quiet, but one senses it. Like a man who had suddenly found himself.
Took me a long time to acquire it. I no longer question what I should do. I do what I want to do.
That's fine. But there's always one danger of overdoing it. And that's worse than not doing it at all.
McDonald, you're the one man to whom I'm grateful. You're my friend.
I always believed in you, lad.
I know you did.
If you hadn't said what you have, I wouldn't say this. I liked you for the way you stood on your feet when another man had the good luck that you deserved.
Wasn't for me.
That's the way to look at it. She's a grand girl, and he's a good lad. And we'll all be wishing him happiness in another 2 weeks.
Two weeks?
Monsieur Grayson, come here at once.
Have I said anything I shouldn't, lad?
Yes. You will proceed at once to his tower. Report to Colonel Lamont, in charge of our survey in that district. Bring back his confidential findings. Take what escort you need.
Yes, sir, I appreciate the confidence you place in me, sir, but isn't this rather an unexpected mission, considering the fact that your daughter and I are to be married in 2 weeks, and the trip to Estella will take 6?
I sympathize with you, Grayson, but our duties come first. You understand?
Yes, sir.
As your poet Bobby Burns has said, the best laid plans of mice and men gang after gley.
Bonsoir, monsieur. Dr. Faustus, with his alchemy, and the help of his satanic majesty, discovered the secret of renewed youth. Just what is the secret you found?
I have not as yet been able to enlist the help of Satan, but perhaps you, with your recently acquired habits of appearing at inopportune moments, hold the power to materialize the Prince of Darkness.
In possession of the knowledge you hold, I should not need his help.
You assume much, my dear Mazovia.
I know much, my dear Luke.
You should know, then, that I'm not easily fooled by your attempted subtleties. Any knowledge that I may possess shall be retained only by me. You see, I don't hold you to be a stupid man.
You have need of me, my dear Luke. You are a clod. I, a man of imagination. You have stumbled upon this lost knowledge of the centuries. I have hesitated at nothing to gain it. Let me share your secret with you, and the world lies at our feet.
In France, did Theon, the high priest, share his knowledge with you?
No. And therefore he died.
You killed him?
With the help of the goddess Siva. Ah, that you will not understand. This you may. The breaking of the scaffold, so well tested by MacDonald. The mysterious disappearance of Francois and Henri. The refusal of the natives to do any further work.
Why?
The expedition withdrew, did it not? I knew you would not give up. I hoped you would lead me to the secret. Tiang took this from the goddess Siva, and I took it from him. I thought it was what we all sought. It was a clue, but not the right one. This I am right in. You have the secret of the zombies. Let me have it.
You leave me no choice, my dear Mazovia.
You show rare judgment, my dear Luke.
The secret lies in placing the right hand. So, the symbol of the third eye of Siva. The summoning by will of one who is to be your executioner. His hands slowly steal about your throat.
Boy, this is a great camp, and I love hiking, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is great. Let's keep walking. Did you hear something?
No.
Oh, okay, well, let's go back to camp. I know, I heard something. I don't know what it was.
Mr. Harrihan, we were having fun. God, it's going to take me weeks to fix all that. Oh, Zombette, I'm so sorry. I don't know what to tell you. Fine, be that way. Get out of here. No good little. Anyway, Armand really starts to lose it now. He's still obsessing over Claire, which kind of leads to his demise at the end of the film, but you have to admire an insane fleshy. I mean, it kind of slows him down. It makes it easier for us to catch. Anyway, Armand starts zombifying a whole slew of fleshies now, but he doesn't quite do anything with them except to, delay Claire's marriage to Clifford. And what's up with that powder? I mean, early on, we saw Armand turn Boona into a zombie. You know, he had the powder and the fire, and he's blowing the smoke, and Boona goes, "Arr!" And then he uses the third eye to control Boona. But later on, with the rest of the fleshies that he zombifies, he just uses the third eye, and they all turn into zombies. I mean, how is it that he just needed the powder for one zombie victim, and then the rest of them he just controlled with the third eye? I mean, I guess I'm missing something here. Anyway, Colonel Mazovia, what a character. A complete waste. By the way, if anyone ever tells you that they're going to kill you and then describes in great detail how your death will occur, don't just sit there and listen. Colonel Mazovia, a great villain, potential zombie, but a bit slow. Anyway, let's get back to the conclusion of the movie. You get back in your box! I'm mad at you! Don't touch my dolls!
Great priest king Yakovam used his subjects, men like you, to build the miracle city of Angkor. Perhaps under my control, you are scheduled for even greater things. Dr. Trevisan, I thank you for reinstating me. So kind. And you, my poor friends, for the unwilling contribution of your souls. You are giving me power to achieve the one thing I want, and I am so grateful. No doubt you would all tear me limb from limb should I ever relinquish this control. But that shall never be.
Cliff.
Claire.
Come on. We're going home right now. Come on, pack up. We're going home. I sensed a change in him when he sent me away.
I'm frightened.
That time Armand was away, He was in Angkor. He's succeeded where we've all failed. He's found the secret of the high priest, and he has power. And both of us taught him the lesson of being ruthless. He knows what he wants, all right. It's you.
What will he do to you?
He'll get me out of the way. Our only chance is to get away together, and right now. Come on.
Your father asked me to say that he wishes to see you at once. I trust you had a pleasant trip to... Where was it? Oh, yes, Ishtala, I believe.
That trip couldn't possibly have been made at your suggestion, could it?
My suggestion? What possible reason could I have had for that?
Same reason as for all these changes have been made since I was sent away. For these men, and your scheme to marry Claire.
If anything or anyone gets in your way, ride roughshod over him. Isn't that your creed?
Not creed. Just advice I gave to a friend.
You also advised, forget sentiment. If you want a thing, go after it and get it. Isn't that it?
You proved an apt pupil.
I had a splendid teacher.
And now I'm the one that stands in your way.
You are. But I'm removing you.
Then if I marry you, you will send Cliff back to England. That is your offer, is it not?
Not my offer. My promise.
He goes unharmed.
Unharmed?
I want your word that you will not make him subject to your will as these others are.
These followers, shall we say. He will not be harmed. I give you my word.
I believe that you will keep it.
Yes, I will. And I'll do more. I'll let you bid him goodbye.
I should like to do that.
You love him very much, don't you?
I'm proving it. It isn't easy to give up the one thing in the world one loves.
No, it isn't, is it? I, too, love only one thing in the world, but cannot give it up. Our difference is, I haven't your courage.
There was so much I wanted to say. Now there's so little to say.
I've only felt like this once before. The first time I went up into the front line. I was afraid.
It takes a brave man to say that.
A brave man would never let you sacrifice yourself to save him.
Well, there's no sacrifice. I love you. I shall always love you. We shan't say goodbye.
No. Just let me look at you.
I'll miss my guide.
Oh, we've got to keep our heads up.
I'm going in now. Stop.
10 minutes past 5.
From now on, I shall always count time as London.
And mine will always be set 8 hours later, toward the east.
An apt pupil. Your teacher commends you. At least I let her remember you as a man.
My dearest, know that I love you. Loving each other, we are no farther apart than our thoughts could reach.
Claire, I've just been told that my hope of having you care for me is a delusion. Would you say that?
I married you. I kept my bargain.
And I kept mine.
For that I am grateful.
Is that all I'm to ever have? Your gratitude?
Yes.
I envy Clifford. I'd give up everything I have if you could just find it in your heart to think kindly of me.
You asked me to think kindly of you. You have control over my thinking. You've proved that with my father and others. You've made them subject to your will.
I could never do that to you. I couldn't. If I give up this power, if I release these people,
then I should really believe that you love me.
I'll prove it. I give it up. I love you. You wondered once how the great priest-king Yaakov Varman lost his power, releasing his subjects. He was enamored of the fair Indra. He did try by sundry means to win her love. But she, as women will, could not care for him. So he willingly gave up his power for this woman he loved.
What's happened?
Whom the gods destroy, they first make mad.
Now, if I were to make a zombie movie, this is what I'd do. Boy, do you hear something? Oh no, it's Kicky the Killer Kickball! Hide! How many times do I have to tell you? Leave the local kids alone. They don't want to play with you. Right. Well, I had high hopes for Armand. I mean, he zombified a whole bunch of fleshies and an army, but he did nothing with them. He just wasted all that power on a fleshy chick. Ah, fleshies and her silly emotions. All that power, all those zombies. Just to throw it all away and be shot in front of the fleshy chick he loves. Yeah, that'll show her. And I still didn't see any revolting zombies. I mean, the only revolting thing I noticed were the fleshies that attacked and killed Armand after he released them from his spell. I mean, but can you call those fleshies zombies anyway? They were more like hypnotized or something. I mean, take it from me, once you're a zombie, you stay a zombie. You don't go zombie, fleshy, zombie, fleshy, zombie, fleshy. Once a zombie, always a zombie. Who knows? This is just one more example of a bad, fleshy idea about zombie creation. Hey, learn everything you can about fleshies. They don't know as much as they think. And it's a matter of life or getting shot in the head. Until next time.
Thank you.